So we are live. We are here with Oktagon Pulse. It's back. It's taken me a little while to return these pulses. This is because we have set up a new studio. This is me, my little studio. Me, Bryan, Lacey. I will be chatting today to none other, as soon as we can get him on the line, Bojan Velickovic. That's right. That is ahead of this weekend's card. Oktagon return for the second time to Frankfurt. And I cannot tell you how excited I am about that. That is monumental what they did in the first show. Oktagon 33. The Festal being sold out for the very first time. The card just delivering on so many levels. You had Lozan Kieta claiming that belt, unifying that belt to become the lightweight champion. You had Stefan Putz winning the battle for Germany to put him at the top of those light heavyweight rankings. And then you had Christian Ekelin. Christian Ekelin versus Danielson Oliveira. That fight was set with 1 week towards the event. Nobody would take a fight. Nobody would take a fight with Christian Ekelin. And Danielson Oliveira stepped up. Then the controversy happened. The cup kick that was deemed not a cup kick. The second cup kick, which I think left one of Christian Ekelin's balls in the stands about 72 rows back. And then he came out and got the finish. After that, the drama that saw the German MMA Federation take away that win, make it a no contest, which has led us to this card that goes down on Saturday, which is topped by the rematch and has so many fights in it with title implications. Let's have a look at the card. Let's be clever. Let's try and get the card up. Let's see. There we go. Look at that card. That is ridiculous. I know it's super small on your screens, but squint. It's worth squinting at. The Ekelin era at the top of that card. That's just unreal to think about. Christian Ekelin's walkout, all that is on the line. With the whole feel of the Festal Oktagon 33 was spectacular. Nothing I'd ever felt like before, because I knew that like Germany was a place which embraced MMA as far as the sports, the competitors. You look at the gyms, MMA Spirit, you look at UFD gym, you look at the fighters they've got around there, but never has an arena been or felt like that on German soil. And to think and to anticipate what that could be like, what that will be like on Saturday is something which is spine tingling, absolutely spine tingling. And let's have a look further down the card. Jeremy Kimball versus Hatif Moel. Jeremy Kimball versus Hatif Moel. That is a heavyweight banger, a complete stylistics matchup. You have got Kimball, who has become like a fan favorite with his wins over Petroshek, 2 wins over Petroshek. Then his last win over Tomasz Nama, where he felled the giant Viking with leg kicks. And now he takes on Hatif Moel. Moel, who won his debut at Oktagon 33 for Oktagon. Against Big Baby Rezedne. And in that fight, there was no bad blood beforehand. There was no, there was nothing crazy like that happened in the Ekelin fight that would have brought anything out of Moel that would have scared them, made him turn into this vicious beast. But at the end of it, he wins the fight and he just starts barking, growling in the face of Rezedne. So he's going up against Kim. This fight, I have been told, and whether you have told, I don't know. So maybe I shouldn't be telling you, but I'm going to tell you because you're here and you deserve it. This will decide who will be the first challenger for that vacant heavyweight title. So the implications there are huge. Jump down, you got Putz versus Petroshek. This fight, this could put a spanner in the works for Terminator versus Terminator. We saw Carlos Vermola win his fight at Oktagon 33, then step into the cage when Putz won his fight and said there is only one Terminator in Oktagon, and that what's it called? Oh no, the Justice Day. It's not Justice Day for whatever, a good. Basically, he said that day will come, Redemption Day, someday. You know what I'm talking about. It will come where they will face off. but Petrashek has now stepped up. This is one of the teammates of Carlos Vermola. In fact, one of the main training partners. And Vermola was on our other show, Oktagon Hype, and he said that he believes that this fight with Terminator versus Terminator, him versus T800 Stefan Putz, won't happen because he thinks Petrashek will destroy that fight. He thinks he will win dominantly, and then that would just be a distant memory. So much on the line for this. Again, Petrashek stepping up here against Putz, which is a 15-time, the most decorated champion that I know on the planet. Like, I can't think of anybody else who has gone to multiple organizations and collected that amount of belts. And then we have Velickovic versus Apollo. And I believe we have Bojan Velickovic set and ready to join us now. So let's not waste any more of your time and let's bring him in. Let's see. Bojan, how are you, my friend?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I've been following you on social media. I've been watching you tear up the streets of Frankfurt on your scooters. You seem to be having a good time out there, mate.
Yeah. As always, me and my gang, we like to explore the cities that we travel to with those little electronic scooters. What are they called? Lime or
yeah, those.
There's a few different ones, but yeah, we love to do that. So yesterday we had a little bit of extra time, and we did that. So yeah, that was really good.
And you're set and ready. Have you fought in Germany before? I'm trying to think back to your record. Have you fought in?
No.
So this
No,
is first
never.
for you as well.
Yeah, this is gonna be my first fight in Germany.
Oh, you just broke up a little bit then. So how exciting is that for you? Did you watch Oktagon 33? Did you see Oktagon's debut in Frankfurt back in June?
I did watch some clips. I did watch a couple of fights, and it looked absolutely crazy and amazing. I mean, crazy in a positive sense. So I'm really excited. I heard that arena sold out, and that it's gonna be absolutely packed. So I'm very excited to get in there and put on some performance.
This is what excites me as well, because I've just been breaking down the card briefly for people. I only got to from the top fight to your fight, but every single one of them is like a top matchup, and on top of that, there's like implications as far as where they sit in the division. With your fight, you're coming up against Apollo, Leandro Apollo Silva. That's good. Right? An exciting fighter. He's not somebody you have to look forward to make it a fight. Do you like this matchup?
Sorry, you break up for just a little bit.
That's all right. I was just saying, do you like the matchup with Apollo? Do you like it?
Oh yeah, I liked it very much. This is the fight that I asked for. Well, as well as Leandro, I think we're both very experienced. Stylistically, we both like to stand and strike. Apollo's style is very good. He likes to switch stances. He likes to also like um, be a showman during the fight and put his hands down. And yeah, I think it's like stylistically, it's a great matchup, and I think it's gonna be a very fun fight to watch for fans.
I can't think of one boring fight of yours, Bojan. So I know whenever they stick you on the cards, the fans are going to be excited and they're going to see something spectacular. The
Thank
last
you very
fight,
much.
that's all right. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. The last fight was against Kurtesh. Now that one finished, and I remember seeing you sat in the cage after, and you were kind of, I don't know. I know you had that hard third round, and you were very mentally hard on yourself. It was scored the same way by every judge. Every single judge scored it exactly the same way. And I spoke to them afterwards. Did you watch it back? Have you kind of watched it and accepted that victory now? Because for me,
Yeah,
yes, the third round was difficult, but I think you did enough in the fight. I clearly did enough in the fight to take the win.
yeah. I was kind of disappointed with the reaction of the crowd, and like I thought going into the third round that I won first two rounds. Second one was close. he did took me down. He didn't do a lot with the takedown, but I think I dominated most of the second round. Third round was, I mean, very dominant from his side, so I didn't know how it looked. Um, I didn't know at the time like how dominated it looked, but by the reaction of the crowd, and but at that time I didn't know that most of that crowd was Mate's fans, because it's very close to Germany, and that they were a little bit biased. So it seemed, the reaction was like off, and I didn't know what to think at the time. But after talking with multiple people who are experts at what they do, when it comes to MMA judging and reffing, they all told me that there's no doubt that I won that fight. So yeah, I accepted it. I don't look back at it that much anymore. Besides analyzing some certain things, but Mate, yes, like he he showed up ready, and his goal was to break me with the pace and to take me down. And I think I did a really good job, first two rounds, or shall I say, one round, and then three quarters of round two, defending his takedowns, stuffing them, and striking as much as I could on the breaks. So I think that was enough to win the fight, and yeah, I definitely learned a lot. I definitely, that fight made me, because I always thought that I'm conditioning wise,
Now,
in a
back. Hopefully, we're going to be back with Bojan as well. So,
oh,
are
am
you
I
there, my
back?
friend? I think so. Yeah, I think we just got a little Wi-Fi issue. Can you hear me? Okay.
I do. Yeah, I hear you very well.
Oh, we're gonna
Where
have
it's
this yeah, I think we've got a slight delay on our thing. It's all good. It's all good. I'll take you out of the stream, then I'll bring you back in, and we'll see if that fixes it. The magic of the old on-off. Let's see. How's that? Do you hear me better now?
I hear you great. I didn't lose you at any point.
Oh, there we go. There we go. My apologies, my friend. So let's talk about this fight then. So against Apollo, you've already highlighted a few of the things that you think he does well, some of the tricks he kind of uses within the cage. Anything specific that you've done in preparation for some of those games that he plays during the fights?
Uh, I just prepared myself for everything. After how the Mate fight went, that's what I was saying when you probably lost me. Is I increased a lot more conditional preparation. I ran a lot more. I did a lot more cardio work. So I'm just ready for whatever. For instance, for Mate's fight, I was not preparing for wrestling uh, at all. At least not that much of wrestling, and I think that's probably why I got tired. But I also increased a lot more cardiovascular training. I prepared for all the areas where he's good at, and I'm just excited to come and bang, as they say, with him.
And you talk about doing this extra conditioning, which is obviously the most gruesome part of preparing for a fight, but you do it in Colorado, right? You do it at elevation. Describe to people, and you had to make that transition to there. What difference does it make training at altitude, and how much harder is it?
Well, I mean, for me, it's normal at this point. I lived there 7 years, so I don't like anytime I'm getting ready, I don't experience big of a difference. But I know that people from other gyms that come to train with us, they say that first couple of weeks is absolutely terrible. So if any of the people who are watching, they want to come and train in Colorado, or they're coming to fight, I would advise them to come a couple of weeks ahead, at least 1 or 2 weeks ahead, and try to acclimate to that high elevation.
And where was your camp for this one? Was it in the two gyms you usually work with?
Well, my first 2 weeks of this camp were in Stockholm, Sweden. Um, the all-star team flew me out there to help Kamzat prepare for Nate Diaz. So my first 2 weeks of training were pretty much last 2 weeks of Kamzat training, and that was quite an experience. I went. I'll just say that I went through some fire first 2 weeks of my camp. Um, then I also learned over there how they do their conditioning as well and their cardio work, which kind of inspired me to switch up a few things in my preparation as well. Lots of sprints, lots of uphill sprints, which is great for Colorado because I have quite a few hills and mountains. So yeah, then after those 2 weeks in Sweden, I returned to Colorado and I did the rest of the camp there. And I find out for the fight quite early. I think about 2 months, 2.5 months before the fight. So just so yeah, I think the preparation's done, and I'm very excited to get into the arena and into the cage and yeah, start the fight with Apollo.
Tell us a bit about training with Hamzat then. Is he as good as everybody says? Because I've been around him. I've never seen him train. I've been to All Stars before. What was it like, feeling that sort of pressure? The one that is now probably the most renowned fighter on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, technically wise, he's not like he's good. His wrestling is obviously absolutely superb. Very good, very dominant. But I think his attitude and his aggressiveness, uh, that just the dominant, crazy pressure, and pace of the fight. I mean, like after seeing what he did to Kevin in 3 minutes, I'm kind of very proud of myself that I went to 2 rounds with him in a row. So yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Yeah, as I said, like he's just like very confident. He goes forward and he chew people's up. So I think that's his main attribute. Like we saw in a fight with with Burns, that he can get hit. He's not like I don't know, he's not untouchable. But what makes him different is that like he has a superb confidence, very good physically prepared. The amount of training that he puts in his preparation is also something that really blew my mind. After I'll just say after spending 2 weeks around him, I'm not surprised anymore that he's so dominant in the UFC. So that he pretty much ran through everybody besides Gilbert Burns.
That's impressive, especially if you went back to back 2 rounds. Fight happened in your life outside the fighting. One that I want to congratulate, which is I believe you're engaged now. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
About time as well. About time, because we met Esther at the last event, and I can't tell you the amount of Oktagon staff that came up to me afterwards and goes, his girlfriend is just amazing. So congratulations to
Yeah.
you both.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Set the scene, because you did it in. You tell us, where did you propose and set the scene for us? What happened?
So after my last fight, we went to mountains. It was actually it was May 1st, which I don't know is it in UK, but in Serbia and Eastern Europe, that's like a day of work or day of workers, and it's usually a day when everybody takes a day off and go to nature, make a barbecue or grill, something like that. So we went to the mountains, and it was Sunday too. Also, there's few kind of special things that happen in my life on a May 1st. So I really like that day. And I actually had a ring. I bought a ring a couple of weeks earlier, and I was carrying it with me. I didn't have any specific plan when I'm gonna do it. Like I didn't want to make it like cheesy or just like I don't know. I don't like that. I wanted to be spontaneous, and when we were going there, I was thinking maybe this would be a good opportunity. And then when we got there, I started feeling so scared. I was. We were going up the mountain towards this beautiful view, and I was thinking about doing it, and I was super scared. Literally my legs started shaking, and I was like, okay, I have to do it now. Like now, if I quit and change my mind, then I'm not who I am, or who at least I would like to be. So yeah, I asked her, and she said yes, and yeah, it was a very very happy days for both of us.
That's beautiful, my friend. And that surprises me as well, carrying the ring around. Because when I got engaged to my wife, when I asked her to marry me, I carried the ring around for one day in New
Oh, you
York.
did?
And I was petrified. I had to keep checking my pocket. I kept going to the toilet to check it was still there. So you just carrying it around and waiting for the. There's a lot about your calmness with patient, my friend. That's impressive. Impressive.
Yeah, thank you.
Married.
Sorry, I lost you for
Do you
a
have
moment.
that's okay. I think we got some signal problems. For anyone watching, I will upload this again, so we have got this recorded. But did you have a date in mind? Do you know when you'll get married, or is it just a case of again, are you just going to walk around with rings in your pocket and just guess?
No, no. I don't think it's gonna be anytime soon. Probably next year, probably towards the end of next year. I recently had a tragic event in my family, where I lost my dad, and in those circumstances, at least in my family and customs in Serbia, like none of the happy events like wedding or something like that is celebrated within a year from someone's passing. Um, so since this has just happened like last month, um, I'm for sure not gonna do within the next year, but probably maybe next fall or next winter uh, is like when we can start planning and talking about it.
Well, firstly, huge condolences. I was very lucky to meet your dad after one of your fights, and it was one of the firmest handshakes I've ever felt in my entire life. I kind of got a sense where that Serbian steel comes from. He genuinely nearly crushed my hand, but it was so full of love, and they were so you and him and your mum were so proud, and obviously being with you and being at your fights was a huge part. Was there any moment during this preparation where you kind of thought, I can't do this, where you think about this moment and you think, without him, I can't do this?
Uh,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
no, no, it's okay. Um, uh, it was a very painful event in my life, but I never doubted at any point that he would want me to stop. I just know him. He was for people who like don't know. He was at every fight that I. Oh, actually, he only missed one of my fights in Oktagon, but he was at every fight that he was there. He was cage side in my corner, and somehow he would always like find his way through the crowd and through security, and from the stance, from like the regular stances, he would end up in my corner and cage side. Um, yeah, and he doesn't speak Czech or Slovak language, so I don't even know how he communicated. and how, but he always find a way to be in my corner, and to be my support, my closest support. So um, I'll definitely miss that, but I know that my dad is with me. Like the love that he gave me and everything that he taught me in my life is to believe uh, in something that it's not firm as material things, but I do believe that his spirit is with me and within me, and I'm part of him. He was my dad, so uh, I'm I am part of him. As you said, that firm shake. All my coaches told me that he's the like your dad handshakes. He's the firmest handshake I ever experienced in my life. Um, so yeah, that's maybe where the Serbian steel squeeze comes, that people gave me a nickname for. And yeah, I'll try to be a little bit more of him, because he always had some something that he would change. Oh, you need to be more aggressive. You need to do more of this. You need to do more of that. So since he's not here to tell me that, maybe I'll just try to think and remind myself of all these things, and yeah, too, I'll try to make him proud on Saturday.
Well, listen, without a doubt, throughout your life, just by speaking to him briefly and the way he spoke about you, and you could see the love he had, I know 100% you have done him proud. I also know the best reflection of any family or any man is their children. And for me, interacting with you as well, you are one of the most humble, respectful, dedicated young men I have ever had the pleasure to meet. So I think that resonates just how special he was, and obviously what he meant to you. So I can't, yeah, like you said, for me, he's always going to be with you. That's without a doubt, because he helped build you. He helped build you, and he will still be with you throughout the rest of your life. And I'm very sorry, and I mean this, and I pass this on to you, your family, your mum as well, for the loss.
Thank you.
So that's okay. That's okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, and I appreciate just getting to meet him, even if it was just the once, because my hand still hurts. Okay, so he's the court case basically. It's about to sue him. I was coming in with some papers because there we go. So let's go back to the event, because you said you got your little scooter buddies around you. You've got another person there training, and I think from the same gym. Mallory Martin is with you, and she's going to be fighting on this card. Just tell us a little bit about her and what it's like having her over as well. Now you're not just the only Colorado representative
Yeah.
out there.
There's actually one more. I think Jeremy Kimball is fighting on the card, and he's from Colorado too.
Wow. So we have got the Colorado clan coming in looking to
Taking
upset.
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Mallory trains with me a couple of years, and she's absolute gangster. I mean, unfortunately, her last fight in the UFC didn't go well, and she got cut. She got cut from UFC roster. But as soon as it happened, because I know that her and I have the same manager, I told her, "Hey, why don't we put Mallory in Oktagon too? That way, I mean, besides someone from gym fighting on a card with me, we also use the same coaches, and I would always um, have to bring an extra coach and pay extra room and extra flights and all these things. So once I heard that they're interested in signing her with Octagon, I was very, very happy, and not also because it's gonna help me save some money on expenses, but because old people from Colorado watching my events, they're like, "Oh my god! Like these Octagon events look so amazing. The fans seem so excited and so fired up." I've been always telling them, I was like, I can totally speak with people from Octagon and maybe get more people from my gym on the card, so you can see how great it is. And most of my teammates, especially the younger ones, they never left United States. They never seen Europe. And one of my passions, because I studied tourism and hotel and restaurant business. Um, I like to make I like to do this for my teammates and my coaches. For instance, my coaches already have been in Serbia 3 or 4 times, all of them, and I like to bring them, to show them how Europe, like how different Europe, and how, like, in some sense, better it is, at least social life, and beauty of the buildings, and the history. Like everything has like a different feeling and a different vibe here, and I think it's because like he's so much older than the United States, and the culture is so much deeper, and the history is so much deeper and stronger. All the events that happen here just in the past 100 years is like absolutely crazy. So yeah, I when I heard that she's gonna come, I knew that there's gonna be a new person that's gonna come. We have one more coach that came this time for Mallory, Aaron Porter, and this is first time in Europe for him. So there you go. We brought 2 new people to Europe. They're gonna experience, and they're gonna go back and say some nice things. So yeah, I'm excited and I'm happy.
Is that still one of the big draws for this life for you, to be able to travel, to be able to go to these new places and be part of new cultures? That I saw you having like a dinner with your Afghanistan friends. So you got a little
Yes.
taste of, and I've had the same. I've got some friends in London, and they did exactly the same. They sat us down on the floor. They brought out this amazing food. They played some of their music, and you're like, this is like I was in London, but then actually going out to different places and doing it. That's what life's
Man,
about, right?
this is what breaks boundaries. This is what, like, that's a true like the diversity, and not caring about nationalities, religion. Like, I really stand behind that, and this is something that I'm most happy about. What my father taught me is that, like, that even though I grew up in Serbia, where we had wars between Croatia and Bosnia and Albania in '90s. He taught me to never like dislike someone just because that person is specific religion or specific nationality. He always taught me to be open-minded. He told me that some of his closest friends before the war started were like from Bosnia or from Albania, from Croatia, and then after everything kind of settled down, they reconnected their relationships, and they started visiting and seeing each other, as well as I did. I spent my last 4 holidays or vacations in Croatia on Adriatic coast. Um, so yeah, that kind of, and then when I came to the United States, I even expanded more my views, and just that statement that I heard so many times growing up, that like good man is a good man. Doesn't matter if it's a Muslim, doesn't matter if it's doesn't matter what country comes from. Good man is a good man. And I know, like, some of my old friends from Serbia, like, oh, how can you be friends with those Americans? They bombed us when we were kids. When I was 11 years old, NATO and United States bombed Serbia during the war with Kosovo. They're like, oh, how can you be? I was like, they don't even know where Serbia is. Like it's not regular people who bombed us, like politicians, and like every war. I mean, first of all, I know at this point, probably you know that too, that every war nowadays is a business. While poor and innocent people are dying, some people in a nice suits are making money, and for me, that's always like a big eye opener. For instance, I mean, some people can hate people from Afghanistan and Iraq or whatever, but like that dinner with those girls absolutely opened my mind, and like showed me how good and loving people those people are, and they just suffered like bad regime and bad politics around the world, and they almost died and lost their lives. They had to like run and walk for thousands of miles to go to a safer place, and then they found United States. So I'm very happy for them, and I'm happy that I have them now in my life as a teammate, as a part of my academy in Denver. And yeah, that's something that really makes me happy. Traveling, meeting new people, new cultures, um, definitely makes me like. I feel that it makes me better man, like happier and better man. So I always embrace it.
Yeah, I couldn't echo that anymore. From being lucky enough to travel around the world, breaking the boundaries with just meeting and talking to people is one of the best parts of it. And one of the best parts of my job is meeting people like you as well. So I'm very grateful that you're back fighting with Oktagon. I'm so excited that I'm going to get to call your fight as well. Before I let you go, and again, I appreciate the time. I know this is getting to the business end of fight week for you and getting ready for weight cuts and stuff. Give us a
Yeah.
prediction. What do you think? What's the prediction for the fight against Apollo on Saturday?
Oh, I never give predictions of my fight. I don't, as I said. I just know that I want to go out there and have fun and especially at this stage of my career. Like I have many wins and I have quite a few losses as well on my record, and sooner or later the results like no like I see now some of my teammates who were super big celebrities and champions and all that, like after 5 years people don't know who they are, people don't remember those fights, but they remember, oh my god, that guy was like crazy good exciting fighter. So I just want to be able to be remembered as a good, exciting, as you said, not boring fighter. So I'm gonna try to go out there and have fun. Of course I came and I believe I can win, but we do crazy. We're part of crazy sport where one punch can change everything, and I'm gonna try to keep myself away from those. But you know, then like if I would know how the fun is gonna a fight is gonna end, it wouldn't be fun. So
I
so yeah,
understand.
for me, I just want to go out there and like give up a clean and great show for the fans. And of course, if I end up victorious, I'm gonna be very grateful.
The last thing before I let you go, because I know you do have one tradition at the end of your fights that you like to buy some beers for your teammates to share, win or lose, so you can toast the experience and everything. When we were in the Czech Republic, you bought some beers and they weren't very good, so no one wanted any. But
Yeah.
Frankfurt, Germany, is also known for its beers. Have you already sourced the celebratory or
No.
the experience drinks for after the fight yet?
No, not yet. I usually do that tomorrow on Thursday or Friday. I usually do buy 6 beers for me and my coaches just to have a toast when we go back to the room. But actually, I did mention that one of the things that I changed in my life, out of nowhere, I decided to like take a break from drinking alcohol. I would usually have a glass of wine or a glass of beer every other day, even though when I'm training for a fight, and it would not affect me. It would actually give me a good relaxation and a good rest. But last 2 months, I haven't been drinking. Uh, so I didn't. So I completely forgot about that, and I forgot that that's gonna be my first beer after a couple months. So it's probably gonna get me drunk. Uh,
So we'll put a
so
warning out. We'll put a warning out to Frankfurt that Bojan's going to hit the
yeah,
dance floor Saturday night, no matter what. Okay.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah,
Excellent.
we should do that.
We should. But listen, again, thank you for the time. I can't wait to see you out there. I'll be out there tomorrow. I'll arrive, so be sure to come and say hello.
Of
But
course.
for again, from me and from Octagon fans, we love what you do in the cage. We love how you carry yourself outside of it. And once again, it'll be an honor to call your fight Saturday night. So I will see you when you're all skinny at weigh-ins on Friday.
Thank
And
you.
I look forward to this weekend, brother. Okay.
Of course. Thank you. See you soon. Looking
Take
forward
care.
to it. Bye.
Cheers, my man. Cheers, my man. Bryan Velickovic, my goodness, what a guy, what a guy! And we got nice comments in there saying, yeah, just how much people are enjoying him and how much they like him. If there has been problems signal. I apologize. We have got this recorded, so I will put this back up. So if you stuck with us, thank you very much. We're going to give you one last look at this card. This goes down this Saturday. You can join us only on a pay-per-view because we're sold out. Second time in a row, we have sold out the Festhalle. Oktagon.tv/EN if you want the English commentary. And then also, I would love you guys to check this and see this guy returning. He's there at the top of the prelims. He's taking on a fighter called Andre Ricardo Didi at the top of the prelims on the Hitman Hathaway. He's 10 years away from competing. In that time, he's been doing. He's been going through hell. He's been going through a fight with his own body, where he's had ulcerative colitis. He won the UFC 8 years out of it. He had 3 major surgeries, and finally he returns and he makes the walk on Saturday night. The greatest comeback of all time. And if you want to see a little bit more about that, go to our YouTube channel. You should be on it now. Oktagon UK and Ireland YouTube channel. Look for this return of John the Hitman Hathaway. He is back on Saturday night. I will be back in Frankfurt as well. I'll get there tomorrow. I'm so excited and looking forward to calling this action. But once again, thank you for watching the MMA Pulse. We're going to be more regular with this. We'll fix any streaming issues, so stick with us, and I will see you next time. Thanks again.